Hey guys, what's up? It's Obs here. So I tried to make two Get Ready With Me's in the past, and one didn't upload, and the other one I just forgot to make. So none of those for right now. That is. You never know when a surprise Get Ready With Me will appear on my channel. But for now, I'm gonna make a video about ninth grade memories. So we're finally getting into the high school years. So, all I remember about ninth grade was I was nervous to go into ninth grade, but not as nervous as I was about middle school. If you guys remember, the night before sixth grade, I got super sick. Ninth grade, I wasn't as nervous. I was nervous to go through the school because I haven't been in the high school since before I went to ninth grade. I haven't been at that high school since I was like 3, and the only reason I was in that high school when I was 3 was because my brothers went there and we might have had to pick them up when they were younger. So yeah, I went to the same high school my brothers went to years earlier. Plus, we don't have the same last name. We're half siblings, but we never counted it as that. You guys know all about that. But I didn't have the same last name, so nobody knew I was their sister. But I'll never forget my bus driver. I had the same bus driver my brothers had, and my homeroom teacher was a teacher of one of my older brothers. So, when that happens, I tend to ask questions. And so I asked my bus driver if she remembered my brother. She did. She couldn't believe I was their little sister. And then I asked my advisory teacher if he remembered my brother. And he goes, yeah. He goes, wait, you're not his little sister, are you? And I go, yes, I am. So, they haven't seen me since I was little itty bitty toddler. They were surprised that I was actually now old enough to be in high school, which was really funny. So that was really cool. I remember in ninth grade, I was gonna maybe see about going in the play, but I knew nothing about auditioning for the play either. But I did go see it. It was funny because I just called my friend up one day and she's like, hey, I was just about to call you. I want someone to go to school with me to go to the play. Will you come with me? And I was like, sure. So we went to go see the play at this school, which is totally nerve-wracking because I was one of those people that thought it was weird to be at school during nighttime or on the weekend, because this was a Saturday, Sunday matinee. I think we went to one of those. Then also in ninth grade, I went in the talent show, which was so big for me. I ended up singing Suddenly by Ashley Tisdale, and I actually got a standing ovation. And there was actually kind of a mean joke going on. Me and two of my friends were in the talent show, and we saw the popular group arrive, and we were we heard them say, oh, let's laugh at all the people who are actually super bad. So yeah, so that was a little nerve-wracking. I mean, I did have Ashley's voice to hide behind since I was singing Suddenly by Ashley Tisdale, but the microphone overpowers your voice as well, so I mean, they couldn't really hear Ashley too much. I forget what I was wearing for an outfit. I know I was wearing this really cute skirt from Forever 21, but that's all I remember. I forget what top I wore. Anyhow, also in 8th grade, I had one other girl in my math class, but then there were some complications in her life where she had to change schools, and then I was the only girl left in my math class for the rest of the year. I mean, it wasn't too bad because my teacher was female, but it's a little awkward when you're the only girl in your class. But I started to learn later it wasn't as bad as I thought, because I have more classes like that. favorite class in ninth grade was probably science. I liked the teacher. The class was fun. We had an interesting class pet. There was only one bad memory. In ninth grade science, we did a lot. We played like little Jeopardy games, and each of that, like, students got different. Like, if you wanted to be scorekeeper, you could ask, but like you couldn't do it like twice in a row. I did it once and I messed up so bad. I'm not the best at math, and I know it's just like adding, but the zeros were like so confusing me. So I got in trouble for that reason. However, I'm just keeping this in here because it kind of ties into 10th grade. Ninth grade. I had the same teacher 2 years later, and we only did one Jeopardy game 2 years later, and I was a scorekeeper, and I redeemed myself because I remember he was like, when we did the one in 11th grade, he's like, are you sure you can be the scorekeeper? I was like, yeah, I knew what I was doing wrong. I was like, yeah, and I looked at him like, yeah, I know. And then after that, he's like, wow, you knew what you did wrong. I go, yep, I figured it out. So I redeemed myself 2 years later. I also remember when we were doing like our final, maybe we had time left before, maybe it was midterm, but he pulled up the Scary Maze game, which none of us knew. It was still kind of newish at the time, and he had a smart board. So if you guys ever know what a smart board is, you can just touch it with your finger. And so one of the smartest kids in class was like, oh, I can do that, and he got us. My teacher got us, every single one of us. My least favorite class in ninth grade was, it's a tie. It was really in between English, history, and leadership. English, it was just because the teacher was really tough, and like we realized it's because she just wants us to be prepared in the end, but like it's your first year and all that. The only thing I really liked about ninth grade was we finally got to read Romeo and Juliet. That's the one Shakespeare play I always really wanted to read. So I was excited we got to that. History, I didn't like the teacher. Her views are a little different from mine, which, hey, you do you, boo, but she just like she pushed her views on us like way too much. And I remember the one day that I was happy we had a substitute. I was in a group of two boys who I didn't know very well. I mean, I might know them from school, but like that's about it. And we did a little Family Guy joke in our presentation, but I got an A on that presentation anyways. I did nothing. Easiest day I've ever made. And then leadership, it wasn't bad. Okay, let me explain leadership. I was in a leadership class in the morning, and all we did was take notes that were written on the board and talk to our neighbors. We were allowed to do that. As long as we copied the notes, our teacher didn't care. And I was in a regular math class, which I'm not supposed to be. So once I figured out that I was doing really bad in regular math, they switched around my schedule so I would be in a great co-taught math class. But with that, all my other classes got switched around. I was in a different like science period, a different math period. I think like one of the only classes that didn't get changed was my English class. But I remember I got switched to another leadership class, which wasn't bad because my friend who eventually had moved schools was in it, and so I survived that semester with her. But it was so much different from my first leadership class. I really liked my first leadership class because, like I said, all we did was take notes and talk to our friends. My second one, we did a lot more involvement in the class stuff. I actually kind of hated it. It's like I wish I kind of stuck in the regular math a little longer just so I could have that one leadership class that I really liked. But yeah. Let's see, any other memories about ninth grade? Not really. Oh, that's a lie. Okay, so ninth grade, at lunch. I sat with like my best friends. Like we all happened to have the same lunch. And, and so one day they were having a hula hoop contest for some reason. And my friend's like, come on, let's go do it. And I used to be really, really, really good at hula hoop. Like, I could keep going for like hours. And I didn't want her to, and she was on like the chubbier side. Like, I know that sounds rude, but it's not meant to be. So I said to her, because I didn't want her to wait for me either. I go, no, thanks, I'm not really good at hula hoop. She's like, well, neither am I. Well, we'll be back together. So she drags me to the area where they're having the hula hoop contest. I went on to win the whole thing. I wish I was making this up. I went on to win the whole damn thing. Excuse my language. So we're walking back to our table. My friend goes, I thought you said you couldn't hula hoop. I go, and now you know why I didn't want to go over there. Because I hate being the center of attention. I know that sounds weird because I am the youngest in my family. And I was a singer for a band. And I've been on stage before, but I absolutely hate being the center of attention. And all they give you is like a little like stupid flower straw lei for winning. I don't know. I still don't know what that contest was for. I remember the girl I was against, though, was the new best friend of my ex-best friend. It was weird. It was a weird day. Anything else about 9th grade? Not that I can remember. All I know is it was a good freshman year to have. I eventually learned my way around and stuff. Alright, so that's all I have. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And peace out.